This your home girl, Arabia Barbosa, number 4, the County, New York. I am in the motherhood house, and I just went through different videos where women were talking to each other. They had a common ground. A shout out to them. Shout out to those women that find common ground on my chat or not. They could do it in someone else's chat, but they decided to come over here. They felt self. They felt not self, but safe. Uh, shout out to the chat. A shout out to the chat. It is what it is. 914, which is the County, New York. Arabia Barbosa is in that motherfucking house. And I'm doing this video too late at night, but it's not too late for my heart, not too late for my soul, not too late for my spirit. Shout out to the chat. I know what's going on these YouTube streets. I've been told y'all YouTube streets is a battlefield. It's a battlefield. But the battlefield, if you talk to each other, shout out to the chat. I had to mute my mic for two women to talk to each other and get their understanding. A shout out to both of them. Shout out to the women that had me on YouTube for years. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. I'm not perfect. I'm not God Almighty. I am made in the image of God. Arm, leg, arm, head. Shout out to the chat. It is what it is. I'm not going to ever be perfect. I will never be perfect. I will never be wonderful. I will never be beautiful in certain people's eyes. But I love who I love on these YouTube streets. I love you. Even if you go against me with your religion or anything, I'm always going to love you. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. You know, when I was on these YouTube streets over 3 years ago, I watched certain women go over there with Kwame Brown, and he disrespected both of these women when he got ready. When he got ready. Shout out to the chat. It's Squid Games. When you go over there with Kwame Brown or the other dude, Gilbert Arenas, all of them are playing Squid Games. A shout out to the chat. It is what it is. Sister T, she found out the Squid Games years ago. And she decided to do something different on her YouTube channel. But when she spoke to me a few days ago, I felt like I was back in New York living at that house. Living at that house. Those people are dead and gone now. They're dead and gone. Sergeant Crystal Reagan is dead and gone. Shout out to her. Rest in peace, my baby girl. But the other people, my other cousin, yeah, Shakira. Now she's dead and gone. What the hell am I going to do? What the hell am I going to do? Because she was the last of the last. She was the last of the last. And it is what it is. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. It is what it is. Now I'm forward to Kenya. I am Arabia Barbosa. I am going through another period of death, and all that. Y'all don't need to hear about that. I'm going to tell my truth. How I see Sister T. Sister T, she came in, she did whatever she had to do, and I tell the whole world Sister T did different videos about me. Different videos about me. You know why? Because she was watching me. Shout out to her. Shout out to Sister T for doing what she did. She didn't have to do it. But where's my mother? Where is my mother? My mother is not on YouTube. My mother is in the real world. Shout out to the chat. As Sister T said, maybe your mother want to get in touch with you again. No, I can never trust that woman that brought me into this world and left me before I was 2 years old. She left me. She left me to be abused. She left me to be misused. She left me to be miseducated. My mother did not give a fuck about me. Some of the women on YouTube, they do give a fuck about me. They do. And shout out to them. Shout out to them. It is what it is. I look at Sister T. Even though she did what she did, shout out to her for being so brave to do even a little bit. A little bit. Shout out to Queen Regina for doing a little bit. A little bit. Shout out to Lonnie1love doing a little bit. Shout out to Keep the Change doing a little bit. Shout out to all the women on this sector. And I'm not feeling very great. Not feeling happy. I don't feel like smiling. I don't feel like laughing. This is not a laughing matter. It's not. It will never be. Every time I try to get myself out of the depths of depression or whatever this is deep and ain't never gonna go nowhere. Wherever I live, wherever I go, the depression is gonna follow me. A deep rooted depression. What they call it? What did they call that depression? The church ain't gonna solve it. God Almighty is not gonna solve it. Because if he would have did his job, then he would have put people in place to do that. It was not meant to be. I'm supposed to work for it. I'm supposed to work for everything I have, everything I'm getting ready to get. And I'm tired. I've been doing it all my fucking life. Ever since I've been out in the fucking world. Before I was 2 years old. Walking on the street. Talking. And people mistreated me. A shout out to Jack. It happens. When you give your children away to the system, it happens. When you give your children over to the universe, it happens. A shout out to the chat. There's a lot of women on this YouTube app that feel my pain. Can they solve the pain? No, they can't. It's not their job. It's not their responsibility. A shout out to the chat. It's not their responsibility. It's my responsibility. Get my own self out of my own rut. My own rut. Now I know that one of my people are dead once again. This happens to me all the time. Why? Why did she go to bed that night and didn't wake up? Why? It should have been me. It should have been me. I don't have no children. I have nothing to give anyone. But she had a whole lot of love, a whole lot of value. And why did that happen to her? Why did it happen to Sergeant Crystal Reagan? Why did it happen to any women in my life? Why? The most important women are being erased. They're being erased. Not all of them. Just certain ones. Certain ones that are close by. They're being wiped out. Why? Why? I bet Sister T don't have no answer for that. She don't have no answer. She might have been the answer if she would have did the right thing. Don't do me a certain way and think you're going to get away with it. It's not that simple. But shout out to the ones that's still standing by me. But we are living far away from each other. We are living far away. We are. I'm alone. Birdman, he's in his house. I tell Birdman, don't come back over here. Let me live my life. Let me do my thing. And he's afraid. He's afraid. You know why he's afraid? Because I gave away certain things in my house. I gave those things away. I'm not attached to them. So I give them away. I wasn't even using them. I gave it away. I don't give a fuck. My life is coming to a short end. And now my cousin is dead. It don't make no sense to me. It don't make no one bit of sense. The shout out to the chat. Her and Crystal Reagan is the last two in a whole family that ever gave a fuck about me. Nobody else gave a fuck about me. They just wanted to use me for what they can use me for. I'm sorry that everybody is gone. Everyone is gone. It might be two more. Say, well, Aunt Baby, come on. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. But shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. I don't feel sorry for myself. I did this to my own self. I did this. I got born from that woman's body. She left me in the fucking foster care system in New York. You know how that feels? You know what that does to you? Your mother leaves you. Your mother. And certain women on YouTube, when they speak certain words, I think, yo, that's my mom. That's not my mom. It's another woman. She don't deserve all that bullshit, all the disrespect. She don't deserve none of that. She don't. Shout out to the chat. It is what it is. 914 Western County, New York. I'm out of here. But I don't have nobody. The only people I have is people that write in my phone or call me or whatever. They're not here 24/7. You know how it feels to be alone. Nobody is there with you. Nobody. I'm alone. When the YouTube streaks is cut off from my phone or whatever device I'm using, I'm by myself. I'm alone. I am alone. That's why Birdman started getting afraid because he knew. He knew this was going to happen. Anything happened to any of the people in New York, our baby is not going to be the same. I cry. I do my prayers. Nothing helps. I'm by myself. I live alone. I'm by myself. I'm thinking about giving up this fucking apartment and just go live with Birdman. Go live with him. That's not my answer. That's not my answer. My answer is to get everything paid off and do what I need to do. But I'm not free to do it. I'm not free. I will never be free. I will always be trapped. But shout out to Lonnie1love and Keep the Change and everyone that hit my link. Shout out to you. Shout out to Sister T. Shout out to Queen Regina. Shout out to the women on YouTube, the ones that actually doing the work. Shout out to Farmer Nancy. Farmer Nancy is so far away from me. She lives in a different state. I don't live there. I don't live nowhere where none of y'all can reach me. None of y'all. Even those that are you like trying to get towards me and destroy me, but you can't find me. I gave my address on my YouTube channel months ago. Months ago. A shout out to the chat. It is what it is. I'm feeling alone and sad. I feel like ain't nothing going to happen next week or the week after that. Nothing. What am I left with? Because I served a lot of people in my life. I served a lot of motherfuckers. A lot of people. Not on YouTube, but in my real life. I served you. What do I get back in the day? I can't even get a cup of coffee. I buy my food, but pay the bill. It doesn't matter. I'm alone. I'm by myself. I'm not afraid to be by myself. I'm always going to be good company. I'm always going to laugh. I'm always going to enjoy my own company. But some days I get alone. I really do. When I go to work and come back to this fucking house, it's empty. Where's the life in the house? You can have all the money you want, but that doesn't stop you from being hurt. Whatever money my adoptive mother had in her estate, it's not going to help me. Even if I was to get the money. And Lonnie was right. You get that money, you still going to be the same bitch. She didn't call me the same bitch, but she said you going to be living in the same situation. You might be able to change your address and clothes, but baby, you always going to be alone. You don't have no children. No children. And I decided that at 9 years old. Why did I decide it at 9 years old? Because I saw what my parents did to me. Nobody gave a fuck about me. Nobody. The only people that give a fuck about me, they living in the dark. They're a secret. And they help me. But what happens when you're not here? What happens when you're not here? And I'm by myself. I'm worse than Wendy Williams. I'm worse than her. It really hurts my heart. And I did most of this shit to my show. I gotta say that. Now, my other support team system is gone. What did I got left? And I paid a lot of money into those different houses, into those different homes. The money doesn't come back. It doesn't. Money don't make you happy. It don't. Or shout out to the chat. Maddie, y'all go listen to someone else. Let them give you a happy day.